welcome, Ripper. Good to see you.
Guys, great to be here again. This is, you guys got new gigs. You guys are moving up in the world.
Is this
the last
you
time?
haven't been to this studio?
No, I was at the one that was out by Crofton, I think. Or,
Or was it Carrollton?
Out that way.
We're
Yeah.
radio vagabonds. We move around a lot. We go to different spots here and there.
Right.
You know,
It's good to see you, man.
Great to see you guys. Wonderful. I was out to out to practice this morning. I was out for a 4-minute interview. I had to get up at 5 a.m.
Oh my God!
Those CBS WSA folks. If it wasn't for the great Glenn Brenner, I would never have done that. You know. But I came out there, did my little 4-minute gig, and then Chick Hernandez also. He wasn't there, but he asked for his show. They asked a bunch of questions, so it worked out good. And I got to see all the people come in for the practice. They moved it up to 8 o'clock, a little bit cooler. You know, Joe Gibbs did that too. He had a morning practice, and then he'd have one also at like 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, to kind of for double days. You know, back in Carlisle. So, but it's good. A lot of great fans coming out and a lot of good people, and pretty excited to watch this team.
Do you think it was better like going away, like to Carlisle, being like, I don't know how far away that is, 90 minutes, 2 hours away from the DC area, or is it better that the players can stay in their own places? And is it better to build bonds with your teammates being away, like at a small college?
There's a lot of distractions, I think, staying home, and with just the constant being around fans. Now you could really tell the fans in Carlisle because they came, they had it was a whole day trip. They got up early in the morning, they came out there and to watch the double days, and we had a pretty good fan base in. But now, gosh, what they got going on there is just like a city.
It's crazy.
It's unbelievable.
Well, I was going to ask you, I don't know where you lived when you were playing for the Skins in the 80s and early 90s, but I live in Ashburn now, and I've been there for 20 plus years. Can you believe how different Ashburn looks? Because it was all farmland when you were there.
Dulles Airport. I mean, there was nothing.
Where did
going
you live?
Into Dulles. Well, I lived in Reston.
Oh, okay, you're in Reston.
But when we had our old facility right there on 28, Old Redskin Park.
Oh, you were going to that even?
Oh yeah. Well, that was
that's where
you learned how to play football. They built this new facility for us the first couple of years. We forgot how to play. You had all these hot tubs now and cold plunges and massage therapists and chiropractors and red, green, and yellow for food. Which one you should eat, which one you shouldn't eat. They got chefs. They got. I mean, it's a whole different a ballpark. Mr. Cook had a deal. You guys, Bubba Tyre and Dan Riley, our strength coach, and Bubba Tyre, head trainer, was like going, how do we form a championship team when every single day we're at practice, we're eating double quarter pounders with cheese, French fries, and apple pie. Now the big hogs loved it. They throw a couple of those down, they're good to go. But I wouldn't call that a championship diet. But we won championships.
You guys didn't have nutritionists. You didn't have guys blending power smoothies on the way off the field.
Nope, none of that stuff. So that just goes to show you what focus and having a great program as Joe did, and having guys like Dan Riley and Bubba Tyre behind the scenes that were just such an integral part of what we did.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just completely changed out there. You mentioned the fans. The fans are crazy. They're so hyped. Now McLaurin is back, even though he's not practicing without a contract. I mean, we've been talking about that forever. I mean, for the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
You can beat that dead horse to death.
I know.
It's just.
I mean, is it your gut that it's going to happen though? That he'll get a deal done?
We all hope so. I mean, he's under contract, so I mean that part of it is real, and I'm sure that the organization would love to keep Terry around for another 5-6 years, and he's still in his prime. So
yeah. Well, you got, correct me if I'm wrong, you got a big deal after the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. My deal is reverse to Terry's. My deal was, they paid me a 3-year, $9 million contract, and the third year of the contract, they say, "Oh, by the way, we're going to tear this up and give you $750 and bring in Heath something from Tennessee."
Right.
So that worked out really well. So this is different. He's under a contract, which is not, relative to the top receivers.
Did you go through, was it a tough negotiation? I mean, you guys are coming off a Super Bowl, so were you just like thrilled? You guys are all on great terms.
Yeah, we're all on great terms. $3 million then was, one top 10 guys being paid in the league. And
right.
So, yeah, we thought it was a fair deal. But, you don't have a lot of negotiating power with Mr. Cook. And it was like, all right, here's what we're going to offer, and take it or leave it. I remember a buddy of mine, Montreal, he went in there for the Montreal Canadiens, Pierre LaRouche back in the day, and he had a 50 goal season. He went into the owner's office and he goes, "This is what I like." And his owner said, "This is what you're going to get."
Right.
Okay, sir. And he left and walked out the room.
So you actually your representative negotiated with the owner. Like that's
not with the owner. No,
okay.
But Mr. Cook still is the final say. You know, I mean, we had Charlie Casserly was the guy that was doing the
Can you let's go back to 91 just for people, because it's such a incredible season, like one that I think about all the time still. Did you see that coming? That was such a remarkable season. How many times did you get sacked that year?
What was the number? Seven.
Like 7 times.
Yeah, it was
magical season.
It was surreal.
But did you see that? Did you know, like in training camp or like maybe some off-season editions or whatever that they did, that, you know what, we have a chance to be really special? Because I remember it just kind of starting out great and then just kind of like snowballing, right?
Yeah,
it got better and better and better.
Not that we were sitting there, reading the newspaper about Tony Kornheiser's bandwagon thing, but it was kind of like, this is kind of cool. This is something kind of special, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger each week. Obviously you go into camp and we go 0-3 in training camp, and Mr. Cook is livid, and of course Joe is like, you got to understand, Joe Gibbs was so vanilla when it came to preseason. I mean, literally, if you scored a touchdown, it was a minor miracle.
Right?
He's just going to run 40 gut, 50 gut, throw a little hitch route, maybe he'll run a little scat dodge, and basically that's it.
Show nothing.
And then we're going to go to shifts and motions and zooms and pops and all the things that we did. And our guys were really, really, really smart. You're only as good as the guys up front. We had smart guys that understood what we're doing, and receivers and our tight ends, and all those guys were brilliant. And to put in a game plan every Wednesday. In fact, it was Joe was talking to his coaching staff. He said, let's challenge these guys and see if there's no way they're going to be able to pick this up on a Wednesday, go out at a walkthrough and get it. And they got it. We all got it. And it's a testimony to the guys we had there. So
what's pretty crazy about that season is that everybody obviously marveled at the offense, all the points that were scored. But in the first 5 weeks, you guys pitched 3 shutouts. 45-0 in the opener against Detroit, who you guys just used to abuse.
The score of those two games,
they killed them in the playoffs.
I know the score of those 2 games, the NFC Championship game, the first game of the year, was ironic. But
then week 3, 34-0 blasting of the Cardinals, and then week 5, you shut out the Eagles 23-0. So the offense is just humming, but that defense is a killer too.
Yeah, then we won a 10-7 game, I think, or against Houston or something.
16-13.
16-13, yeah. It was 16-13 game against Houston. So no, by no means. I mean, we made some big plays. And that's offensively, that's what you had to do. But I mean, and we had 1,000-yard rusher and Ernest Biner, and so we just had a concept that was pretty cool. And you start bringing those safeties to the line of scrimmage. You got 1-on-1 with three of the greatest receivers in the game at that time. And arguably the greatest, in Art Monk, who's, by the way, November 2nd is going to be a special day for all of us, and only about 10 years short of when it should have been done, right?
Yeah, I didn't get that.
So, anyways, so it was very eventful and very fulfilling. But a lot of people, and I never lose it in the shuffle, is how good our defense was.
Who were our defensive stars?
Well, Wilbur Marshall was special. Andre Collins. You had Kurt Govea in the middle. You had Tim Johnson. You had Charles Mann. You had Jason Buck, I just saw him on air, talking about the name change. And I didn't know he was native.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they called me Chief. A lot of the guys that went on golf tour called me Chief because they think I'm Native American because of my high cheekbones, but
you're not.
I'm Polish and Czech. I guarantee if I was Native American, we would still be the Redskins. So, but I'm not going to do. I don't know what. I probably shouldn't bring her name up. That politician that said she was something, back.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
so
about.
Anyway, so I wasn't going to do that.
Stay away from that.
Stay away from that. So I was, in true honesty, So anyways, with Jason Buck and Tim Johnson and Charles Mann and.
But Dexter was gone.
Dexter was gone. And we had Brad Edwards and Martin Mayhew and and the secondary.
These are
Darryl
all
Green.
iconic names.
All
iconic names.
And Todd Bowles, and so we had some players. We had some absolute studs,
So with what they did last year, kind of shocking everybody and really, catching that heater. Now, some of it we have to acknowledge, they played some.
Freddie Stokes, too. I don't want to forget Freddie.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead.
But last year, we got through, we really started cooking when we did play some less than stellar quarterbacks down the stretch here where we mounted some wins, but impressive playoff wins. How many games did we ultimately end up winning? 14?
14 including the playoffs,
yeah. Is this team built, do they have enough, you think, that they could actually pull this off this year?
I think so. I mean, everything is predicated on health.
Yeah.
You got to be healthy. You got to have your guys up front. We've improved our up front.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the one thing you want to do is you want to keep Jaden Daniels, number 5, around for a long period of time. In order to do that, you better, improve your front 5. And so that part has been solidified. We've added another weapon in Deebo Samuel. And so I think it's the sky's the limit for what they can do. And Cliff and Jaden have such a good mesh, going right now and great understanding for what they want to get done. It's just going to boil down to, can we stay healthy and can we, continue to do what we're doing?
All right. 2 questions for you. First of all, how many different teams did you end up playing for when it was all said and done?
Let's see.
4?
5, I think. 5? Finished in Indianapolis. I had Cleveland, Philadelphia, St. Louis, Indianapolis, and of course 8 years in Washington.
Okay, so by far then on Sundays, you're a Redskin, you're a Commander, whatever,
100%,
right?
100%.
That's the only team you really care
only
about.
Team.
Do you watch the games on the West Coast? You watch all the games?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because they come in at like 10 o'clock, which is good. I'm basically coming up on a Sunday, and if I'm not playing golf at September early morning, I'll get out 7 or 8 sometimes. Right. But I'll be coming home to a game, and then I do follow my nephew. He's still with the Vikings. He'll be a 7th year this year, and
it's amazing.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. So his dad, talking to my brother, his dad was going, if he made it 3 years, it'd be great. He's in his 7th year.
That's crazy.
That's good, and he's got a great future in coaching, and he's just a smart kid and plays.
So what do you see then, having watched Jaden? What jumps out at you, being an ex-NFL, Super Bowl MVP at quarterback? What jumps out at you with Jaden the most?
One, he's got more talent on one pinky than I did in my whole body. Right. 2, he's as good. He's as good in the pocket as any of them. And he doesn't. I should say he does get a lot of credit for it because that's where he wants to make amends is in the pocket, and that's what offensive linemen want too. They want to know that a guy is in the pocket. They're not forming a pocket knowing a guy's going to scramble, but he's got great escapability, which is another factor that you can't really say Doug and I had, a very good game when it came to escapability. So I just think he's very cerebral, and he does it in a different way. He's got these new glasses,
the VR stuff,
that we didn't have, and so he's just got some really, really great skill set, and other tools to work with. So like I say, and he's a good kid. You can't but not cheer for a guy like him because he says all the right things. Yeah. He's very great likable in the locker room, and all that. He's just someone that I just, like I say, the sky's the limit.
Yeah. All right, we'll have more with Mark Rypien next. You can join Mark, Gary Clark, and Chip Lowmiller on City Cruises. Go to citycruises.com. They'll be cruising on August 2nd.
/live, www.citycruises.com/live, and you can get some tickets and come on out. I think the first one's almost sold out, but we got a couple others you mentioned coming up in October and,
that's right,
and December. So.
Yeah, the first one's August 2nd, October 25th, and December 20th of 2025. Go to citycruises.com/live for your tickets. More with Mark Rypien next. City Cruises, awesome event for Washington football fans. The first cruise set sail August 2nd, followed by 2 more dates, October 25th and December 20th. You can go to citycruises.com/live for all of your ticket information. Go get some tickets. Cruise
food, food and drinks.
There's a DJ, there's a buffet, there's
drinks.
Views of the city.
Did I say there's drinks? All the drinks you can have. Things. Yep. And ask questions. We have a Q&A and just get up there and rip it from the 91-92 season with 2 special guys, Chippy and Gary mean a lot to me.
Yeah. He was just taught me, obviously, Ripper is a great golfer, playing golf forever, playing the American Century out there in Tahoe for years.
Did you ever win it?
Twice.
Yeah, he's a big winner.
Look at that.
But I got to tell you something. The second one was more impressive. I won the first one, 1990, the inaugural event.
Right.
And then I beat, Frankie Avalon. And
Did you beat like Jack Wagner? Was
yeah,
Jack Wagner
Jack was playing.
Yeah, yeah. He was good,
Bartkowski. Yep, Bartkowski was good.
Wow.
Dick Anderson played for the Dolphins, was really good. Billy Joe Tolliver was there.
Yeah.
So there's some good players. And Dan Quinn, hockey player. And Rick Roden he didn't play till the next year. He won 6 times or 7 times.
Right. He was a beast.
Yeah, he was a beast. And then, so it was, it was
What
good.
do you remember from playing in the Kemper? Because I remember specifically going to that one and following you around. I was in your gallery.
I remember on the putting green, some of the pros are like, you're taking some guys.
Did they give you a hard time?
No.
Not to your face.
Mark Calcavecchia did a little bit.
He did.
Yeah. Just saying, hey,
what a jerk.
Yeah, you're taking a spot from guy trying to aspire to be a pro, and I go, listen, the sponsor is a sponsor, and he's got a choice to who he wants to bring. He wants to sell a couple tickets. So I can remember John Daly, my group, and Greg Norman's group are all had big galleries, and I can I started in the back 9, so I finished on 9, which is a par 3,
right?
And the hillside was packed,
Yeah.
And I needed if I made par, I shoot 80. If I don't, I shoot 79.
Right.
So I hit it to about 15 feet, and I can remember rolling it in. I go, wow, there's in Lake Tahoe the 2 years that I won. There's the sound, that I never heard anything like that. The second year I won in Tahoe was 2014. There's a lot better players, but what I'm curious about is from 1990 to 2014. What the heck was I doing those 23 years before there? I mean, it's just
you were still playing a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I was finishing the top 10 quite a bit, but I think I was having more fun. It was kind of like a family thing,
Going back to the Kemper, did you shoot 80 that day?
79. Shot 79, 92.
What was the second
92.
92?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. I can remember the caddies when I shot 79. All the ones that had bet money on me that I was going to break 160.
Yeah.
They were like going, "Oh, dude, you got 91 strokes to work with," and then, dude, they're about ready to take me out in the back afterwards.
Do you remember that round? What happened? Did you just get?
I took a lesson beforehand, and a guy that's played a fade that my whole life. Decided because I want to get a few extra yards, I want to hit a draw. So I started the ball right, and I started trying to play a draw, and I started right, and it went right. So there was areas of rough that there was there was a fourth cut I didn't even know existed.
Right.
So
are you insane?
Oh yeah, that's how crazy I was. But it was right after the Super Bowl. I didn't really play a lot of golf because I traveled with the family. And
did you have anxiety?
No, I loved it.
You actually loved it.
I loved it. It was absolutely spectacular. It just showed me how far out of my league I was.
Yeah.
But he just played Wingfoot. Did you play yesterday?
Played Wingfoot yesterday and played another course called Blind Brook, which is right up there in Westchester. Nobody's heard of it, and I think I got maybe 100 members, but it is so cool. It's a Seth Rayner course, and Seth Rayner's got all those. He makes them into like squares, the greens. They're really cool design, and redans.
Can
and all
you still
that.
pump it out there pretty good?
No, because I told that I
tore your shoulder.
Broke my shoulder.
So how far?
But I hit it about 250, 255. I hit a lot more fairways, and I'm a lot better at chipping and putting. I've gone to Lindsay Lohan, left hand low, like Matthew Fitzpatrick, and and actually
for chipping too.
Yeah. No, not for hitting, just for chipping. Yeah. Justin Rose has gone there, I think, also. So yeah,
I don't know how those guys do that. So
I've tried it. I've tried everything.
So
it was for the first week. I'm going, this is stupid. I'm hitting hosel rockets, and then I stuck with it. Now it's so much better.
Right.
I was such a flipper when before I hit some so many Vin Scully's flipping those hands at it. It was just crazy.
How legit was Wingfoot?
Oh God. I'll show pictures afterwards. It's so crazy.
You must know some connected people to get on Wingfoot. That's not easy.
Yeah. No, Wingfoot was good. But I was down there for Clark Gillies' event. The old Islander passed away 3 years ago, and just one of my closest buddies. And I've been coming to his event for like 20 years. And we have our big event in Coeur d'Alene, Community Cancer Fund event, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of last week. And Sunday morning, I left to go to Clark's event, played Huntington Crescent Club and his event, and
give us your 3 favorite courses you've ever played.
Well, Wingfoot wasn't there until because I haven't played Wingfoot in like 20 years, and but Wingfoot is right up there along with
what else?
as far as difficulty and aesthetics and everything, Wingfoot and Oakmont and Pine Valley would be my three.
He's played them all.
That's Ruth Manley, and I've never played Augusta. I've never played Augusta.
You haven't?
Nope, never played Augusta. Anyone out there? I've never played Augusta.
Right?
Any listeners?
Do you like Jason always goes out to Pebble every year. Do you like Pebble?
I do. It's probably my fourth best course out there.
What about the?
I like Monterey Peninsula Golf Club. Spectacular.
Have you played Cypress?
Yeah,
have you played
Cypress? And have played the Preserve, which is up way the heck up in Carmel.
What's the one in
mountain
Oregon
there.
everybody goes to?
Abandoned.
Oh, he's played that. Yeah.
Well, Joey Harrington, the old quarterback and the Oregon Duck quarterback, his charity was for Providence Hospital in Portland, and he'd bring the Pac-12 down. Now it's not the Pac, but back when it was a Pac-12, so he'd bring all the guys. You'd bring two guys from each school, Pac-12. So for 12 years, Bledsoe and I and Jack Thompson one year and myself, but I went every year for like 10 years straight and got to play each time in four rounds at Bandon. That's 40 rounds of Bandon I played, so I love it. Jesus. Never played the Sheep Ranch, but I got to get back again. That was a while back.
Yeah,
so.
Pebble is just amazing, just because
Pebble's incredible.
The aesthetics, like you said.
It's just Pebble Beach, It's just I just can't see that dollar sign and think of it. $500, $600 to play Pebble is.
Yeah, it's like
it's more than that now.
I think it's $650.
Speaking of iconic venues,
and you got to stay at the lodge just to get a tee time.
Yep,
exactly.
How great is it that it looks like the Commanders are going to head back where they should be to the RFK site with the new stadium?
Unbelievable.
If the votes get passed,
unbelievable. If the city council here, and I think Josh has stepped up to the table with some more, and so that first of all, I mean, we're so blessed to have the organization we have and the leadership with Josh Harris and Mark Ian and all the guys that are, and Mitch Rails and
we wouldn't have said this 3 years ago.
And Magic Johnson and Magic Johnson, what they're doing.
Magic's amazing.
And my buddy Gabe Harris. Gabe, if you're out there listening, just want to shout out to my buddy Gabe.
Gabe's getting a shout out.
Yeah, I just want to say, it's just remarkable what they've done. And they've been very open for us to come out anytime and out to the park and be a part of what they're doing. Dan Quinn has said the same thing.
That has jumped out, the fact that they're really reaching out.
Which is awesome. And
that's awesome.
And knock me out or something, but why it wasn't Art Monk, in the Jersey retired 15 years ago,
right.
The week after he left the organization, even if he was still playing, we should have done it. But to talk about RFK, how great is that going to be if the city council can get the votes they need and the documentation to go back and build a state-of-the-art.
It'll be the nicest stadium in the country, maybe in the world. That, and
also for that community, to put shops, and it's not just going to be it'll be something like probably in the aspect of the one in LA, or something like that.
I mean, the Super Bowl would come.
100%.
Yeah.
And, well, if you got to close it off, we don't want to.
Well, yeah.
It's like
I would assume they would.
Corporate America hated the 91-92 Super Bowl. I mean, to go to Minneapolis, you think, and I mean, curling, there wasn't a lot of corporate America curling that year, snowmobilers, people want to golf and, just have some fun in the sun.
They want 80 degrees.
Yeah.
They want
tropical
climate.
But, if this stadium gets enclosed, absolutely. I wouldn't see why that would
Remind me, was the Super Bowl, after the NFC Championship, was that a 2-week break back then? Or
yes.
So you were in Minneapolis for a week, I assume.
Yep, we got there. I think on I want to say
was it 8 degrees there?
Sunday night. Oh yeah, it was minus 20 at one time.
Jeez.
But it was cool. And one thing I would say about Joe and Gibbs is that he said you guys got 3 days or 3 or 4 days. It is when we beat Detroit in the NFC Championship game.
Right.
4 days, take off. Get everything you need taken care of, people, tickets, whatever you need to get your family and whoever you want to be there. And I had 52 people that came, and we ended up renting out. The Marriott worked with the St. Paul's Cathedral, and they had a nuns retreat house right across the street. And I took every room.
Wow.
And put all my family and friends up there, and the nuns were the ones
Where'd you
checking.
Put the nuns?
No, they were the ones checking lanyards. They
put them to work.
Yeah, they took a week off. Yeah, we put them to work. And they were bringing some food. They were great. It was so cool, and being a Catholic that I am, it was pretty awesome, and my family really enjoyed it, and I had the people that I wanted there, along with the Redskin Nation, that was just so instrumental as far as getting us to where we wanted to go.
Yeah.
How many people give you the Sports Illustrated design?
Quite a bit. When I come to the card shows out here, I see probably 8 or 10 of them. And
every time, right?
Yeah. That's.
I think you signed mine.
I'm surprised Jason isn't giving him one right now.
Let her rip. Let her rip.
Let her rip.
I don't know if I have.
That
I don't have it.
I have it framed in my media room.
You're sleeping a little bit over there.
I am sleeping now.
I mean, Ripper was coming in here.
Yeah,
because I collect Sports Illustrated covers, and I've had a bunch of them signed, and I completely slept on that one.
Yeah, that's a great one.
I'm surprised you guys don't have number 11 jammies that you guys wear at nighttime.
We should. It's a gross oversight.
Yeah.
All right, well, give him his plugs, Case.
Well, Ripper, we do appreciate the time. If you want to hang out with Mark Rypien, Gary Clark, and Chip Lohmiller, the first cruise is August 2nd. There's 2 more dates, October 25th and December 20th. You can go to citycruises.com/live for all of your ticket information. And like you mentioned, that you're going to have a Q&A. There's a buffet. There's drinks, as you mentioned.
Did I mention there's drinks?
A DJ. So it should be a great experience for Washington football fans. And we really appreciate you coming in and spending some time
very
with
cool.
us.
Guys, I always love doing this. It's kind of great to reminisce, and get back to the DMV. I get back here probably 4 or 5 times a year, with my daughter being in Baltimore.
Every time.
Welcome
every time.
And, well, I will, once the season gets going, and
come back.
I'd love to come back and just rehash, where we're at and where we're headed. But yeah, it's pretty.
Do you have a prediction? You want a prediction on the season?
I think we get at least 10 wins. Again, this is all based on health, And
have
now
you
there's
looked at the schedule
17 games. Yeah, schedule is pretty wicked. I'm going. If anyone else wants to join me, please come and join me and my comrades. I think Charles is going and. Ken Harvey's going. We're going to Madrid, Spain.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For the game on Executive Global Tours and .com. And John Patrick Cohn has been running this for a lot of years. And in fact, he's doing one for the Vikings, and my brother might be going on the one to Ireland that they're playing in. But I'll be going and hosting, and we're going to be
first class ticket
drinking.
to Madrid.
We're going to drink some Spanish wine, play some wonderful Spanish golf courses.
Perfect.
Just dive into the Madrid culture, which, by the way, I've never been to Spain, so I'm as excited as I am to see the new stadium or the stadium there that the soccer team plays in, and to watch our football team play in there and be part of that culture. I'm just as excited as any fan is, and so come on out and join me there. We're gonna have a great time, and should be fun.
Awesome.
That's
well, we appreciate the time. It's Mark Rypien, Super Bowl 26 MVP. Again, go to citycruises.com/live for your tickets. You can join him, Gary Clark, and Chip Lohmiller on a city cruise. We're the Junks. We'll be right back.